Okay. Hello again, everyone. Thank you for joining our opening ceremony for the AI against COVID competition. We are very happy about this competition, and we are appreciating the support of Microsoft Canada, and also especially the presence of Mr. Ahmed Adel and also Professor Alexander Wine, and their very great support in order to make this event and helping us in all the terms. So today we are going to talk a little bit about the rules of our competition, and we will start the competition from May 31st. So let me, okay. So this competition is a collaboration between the IEEE site Montreal, IEEE Canada, IEEE Montreal section, and also Darwin AI, Microsoft AI, and also Canada National Research Council. And we are very grateful for your presence. And again, welcome to our opening ceremony. At the beginning, I'm pleased to invite Mr. Adel to start his speech. I don't know if you want to share your screen from your computer or I should do it from mine. Whenever.
Thank you. I mean, I think the slides are in already. Diana, I think can confirm. So yeah, I mean, we'll just go.
Yes, but please give me a second because.
No worries, and just to make sure everybody on the call is not having a hard time. It's not a speech. It's maximum 5 minutes, and I will get out of the way because you are the main reason for us to be here today. So supporting you is the purpose of having us.
Okay, great. So no, okay.
So I mean, let's do this rapid fire because I really want to deliver on my promise. The main ideas that I wanted to throw in as we start this amazing contest are the following. One is while the discussion is about COVID-19 and using AI, we have to consider that COVID-19 itself has accelerated lots of things in the way we work, in the way we live. And that applies to many things, and using it in healthcare and helping our healthcare heroes and professionals is something that is, I know, dear and to everybody's heart, and definitely at Microsoft. So next slide. The second thing I wanted to make sure we ground ourselves in Microsoft, our mission is always about the keyword empower. We provide platforms, but we look for amazing minds to come with the solutions and use the power of our platform to achieve more. And this is why you see us really supporting contests like this and many more. I mean, next slide, please. Yeah. The one thing I wanted to just ground, I know many people on the team can be using Azure AI or not, but really our focus in Microsoft is again in empowering. So whether it's a citizen developer, citizen data scientist, or deep expert in machine learning and AI, we try to meet everybody at their own altitude and make sure that we're enabling them. And also we embed AI in all of our applications so our users can make use of it. You can see it all over Power Platform, Power Apps, Power BI, even the Office applications and all of that. But most importantly, we focus on how we can develop responsible AI as Microsoft, but also help our partners and developers use our platform to develop responsible AI, and that comes in many ways. I'll not delve into them, but I invite you always to look at the work we're doing in this space. Next slide. Yeah, one thing that we take pride in is how many companies and developers worldwide are using our platform to develop amazing AI solutions. And this is possible with the next slide. Let's move to the next slide. Because of this, we have the platform for Azure Machine Learning that enables every even developers can use this machine learning platform to use drag and drop to train models and develop that, but also the enablement of ML ops of high rate of operationalization of machine learning model, or whether using customizable AI model that answer questions that I mean, the slides are a bit different now that we've edited them, but they answer whether it's speech, decision making, vision, all of that. And then we have industry-based services that serve all developers and data scientists. But as I said before, we also embed that, so someone using a tool like Power BI or a Power App can actually embed AI solutions in it. And this is the area where we would go for what we call citizen developers, citizen data scientists. So again, however high the altitude is something we want to support. So I'll try to deliver on my promise and end it there, but I wanted to make sure that I share this with the group, and there is always online assets of ours that you can help, and I'm sure with the team we can help you dig more. All the best to all the contributors, and I know this will be amazing. I cannot wait till this is the opening ceremony till the end, where we see the amazing solutions that you will come up with. So best of luck to everyone, and thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Adel. And for those who don't know Mr. Adel, he is a director of data and AI computer engineering at Microsoft Canada. Thank you very much, and we appreciate your support indeed. So let me, okay. So now we will go to Diana Gill. She is the chair of IEEE site in Montreal, to present the rule of the competitions and explain to what will be the whole procedure of this competition and what will be the prices for the winners. Diana?
Yes, thank you, Moin. Well, I'm going to talk about the competition phases, the prices and rules. Next slide. As you may know, because you're here, the competition is composed of two phases. The first phase consists of designing AI algorithms to classify chest X-ray images into COVID-19 positive or COVID-19 negative. You're going to use the dataset that is being collected by the COVIDNet initiative. This initiative is a global open source initiative launched by Darwin AI and the Vision and Image Research Group of the University of Waterloo, which the director is here, Professor Alexander Wang. Then the 5 top teams of this first phase can continue in the second phase to refine their solution and to propose follow-up projects to impact society or the academic community. So you put all your technical skills to solve a healthcare problem in this case. So next slide. And as you may know, we have prizes. Thank you to Microsoft. For the first phase, we have the 5 top solutions will be awarded with monetary prizes and Azure credits. And for the second phase, the 5 top teams can receive up to 5,000 Canadian dollars, as you see here. But well, there is one restriction. Can you go to the next slide? The only restriction is that to receive prizes and project funding, you need to live in Canada. If you are outside Canada, we've received registrants from outside Canada. It's okay to participate, but unfortunately, due to restrictions on some funds transfer, we cannot give you the prizes and project funding. Anyway, you can still participate. The competition rules for the first phase are the following ones. You can participate individually or as a team, but you can only use a single account to do the submissions. Of course, anyone involved in an organization committee cannot participate. As a participant, you have 2 weeks to submit your solution. However, if you know someone who is interested in participating in this competition, you can this person can still join after the start of the competition. The competition starts on next Monday, May 31st, but you can join until 1 week later, so until June 7, the competition will be open for registrants. So it's up to you. The maximum amount of time is 2 weeks, but it's up to you. You can also submit a maximum of 5 entries, but at the end you need to select only one final submission for judging. And the winning teams are required to open source their code. Of course, they need to agree on all the competition rules and code of conduct. We have the code of conduct specified there on our website, and we will be posting some specific rules, some terms and conditions, just to be clear with everybody. We will be posting these specific rules tonight or no later than this weekend. So if you have any questions, so let us know and we can answer all these questions today, or you can still join the Discord workspace. And sorry. And
so it's thank you very much, Dana. If you want to go to your baby, yes. It's okay. Okay, thank you very much for all the explanation. And I just have some slides for Professor Wang to share, because we will have a few words from Professor Wang. Just if you want to start, and meanwhile I'm try to share your slides.
Sure, yeah. So thank you everyone for being here. Very happy to be helping with this and helping with the organization of competition. I think this is a really meaningful competition to really drive innovation in an area. Also really thank again Microsoft as well as for really supporting this particular initiative, this competition. And I'm really looking forward to the great results that will come out of it. And so what I wanted to do was kind of give it an additional motivation and context as to why, beyond just the fact that this is a fun competition with prizes, why it's particularly meaningful, and how the results as well as the innovations being created will hopefully have a lot of benefit. And so just here, I just would like to put things into context. So if you take a look at this particular slide, what you see is this is a screenshot capture of the Johns Hopkins COVID-19 dashboard that I took pretty much a year ago. And even at that time, it was a pandemic of global scale. And at that time, it was a novel virus with limited treatment options and no vaccines. Just remember the number you see on the top left in terms of total confirmed cases, and the number you see on the right in terms of global deaths. And that was a bit over a year ago. And now if we come to today, here is what it looks like. If you go to the next slide. And this was even a few days ago and has increased since then. And just looking at the differences in the order of magnitude of global cases, as well as the number of deaths around the world, is actually very disheartening. And it continues to be a pandemic of global scale with multiple waves and different variants. And right now, our global healthcare system continues to be overwhelmed. And so if you go to the next slide. So one of the most important aspects in clinical care and management of the pandemic has been on screening, which has been very paramount. And so many of you might have heard the standard viral tests, like the RT-PCR test and antibody test. And with the RT-PCR test, which is kind of like the gold standard for testing, it has led to very high specificity, but it's very time consuming and can take more than a day, and in some cases, even 7 days to get results back. And not only that, in recent studies, what they found is that there's been varying sensitivity depending on where you swab, whether it's a throat swab, a nasal swab. And even in a more recent study, what they found was that the positive rate of these tests actually goes up. Goes down quite a bit as the symptom onsets. So that means as a person has the symptom for a longer period of time, it makes it harder and harder to detect. Similarly for antibody tests, you get results very fast, but in terms of how accurate and how specific it is, again, high specificity and even lower sensitivity. And so how do you actually help complement these screening methods to improve the clinical efficiency on how we can actually treat and help those in need? So you go on the next slide, it has been the notion of chest radiography. So across the world, what they found is that chest radiography has been a very important complementary screening approach alongside viral testing like RT-PCR as well as antibody tests for a number of reasons. One of which is just rapid triaging. It's very fast to acquire chest x-rays, can be done in parallel to viral testing. So it's not to replace, but can be done in parallel to get quick results fast while you're waiting for your RT-PCR test. And the most important part is that chest x-rays are pretty much routine clinical procedure for patients with respiratory complaint. So it's going to be captured anyways for patients with respiratory complaint. Why don't we actually leverage it to get additional screening information? Chest radiography, especially chest x-rays, are low cost, low maintenance, and is readily available in most clinical sites around the world. It's pretty much standard equipment in most healthcare systems. And if you move on to the next slide, what is more important is that now with the advent of portable chest x-rays, what you see in the image on the right, is that now they can be performed in isolation rooms to minimize the risk of transmission during the transport compared to fixed systems, can actually be brought into rural areas. In fact, I've actually talked to individuals where they have been flying portable chest x-ray systems on planes and helicopters to remote locations to treat those in need, as well as easy to decontaminate compared to larger systems. But most importantly, chest radiography really enables something that viral testing cannot provide, which is risk stratification. Because of what it provides in terms of different signs and progression, you actually get much deeper insights in terms of risk levels as well as the severity of different patients. And this is very important, improving population management as well as individualized care based on risk. And so these are, for all these different reasons, there's been a big movement towards the use of chest radiography to help in the fight against the COVID-19 pandemic, be it from screening, triaging, and so on and so forth. And that's where the efforts of this particular challenge becomes very important, because the innovative solutions that are being open to the community can really help drive different clinical researchers, clinicians, as well as citizen scientists to push forward with innovations in this area to help with this pandemic. Next slide. And so as a result, what we did was a year ago, we launched the COVIDNet initiative, which is a global deep learning initiative for COVID-19 clinical decision support, ranging from screening to risk stratification, all the way to treatment planning. It's open source and open access to all, and we have a portal for it. We continuously improve with new models and new data to provide with the community to help drive innovation. We've now grown from 2 people to a large multidisciplinary team from around the world with over 20 plus individuals of scientists, clinical scientists, as well as actual clinicians and radiologists as part of the team. And now it's one of the most widely used AI of its kind on all continents around the world. And we're very happy to receive a lot of support from many different enterprise partners, including Microsoft, as well as from a lot of different clinical institutes. And so we're quite happy that we're all motivated towards this goal. Next slide. And so as part of this competition, what we've done is we've, in addition to a number of different things, we've also now provided COVIDX, which is the largest open access data set of its kind, with close to 15,000 different patients across 51 different countries. And the most important thing is that the data has a very good diversity and variety with different views, anterior, posterior, posterior, anterior, different imaging systems, both portable as well as fixed, as well as different protocols, as well as different positions, supine and upright. And we've done a meticulous analysis and curation of this data so that it provides a good diversity for building AI solutions that can perform well and justice. And so that's one of the key things that we've made available to everyone in this competition. And so if you go to the next slide, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hand it off to Hussein, who is one of our main leads on the COVIDnet team for the part of this competition, to kind of just give a brief discussion on some of the data that we provided, as well as some other hints and tips on helping you really come up with great innovative solutions for this competition.
Thank you very much, Professor Wang. For those who don't know Professor Wang, he is an associate professor with University of Waterloo, and he's also a co-founder and chief scientist of Darwin AI, and he's currently a Canada researcher in artificial intelligence and medical imaging, and also co-director of Vision and Image Processing Research Group. Thank you very much, Professor Wang. And Mr. Abu Talibi, we are waiting to hear from you. And
Sure.
thank you very much. You can start.
Thank you. So now I'm going to just give you a very short discussion on the competition. If you go to the first slide, what to expect in this competition. So as Professor Wang mentioned, we have provided the training dataset on Kaggle. It's available now on the link I have provided here. And some of the example images I have brought here. If you go to the next slide. So one thing we require from the participant is that to only use this COVID-X6R2 dataset as your training. It is very important that you do not use any additional datasets because it will disqualify you, as in the second phase, we will evaluate your models individually. So it's very important to make sure that you only use COVID-X6R2 dataset. And the testlet has not yet provided on the COVID-X dataset. We will provide it in the beginning of the competition day. And in order to access the competition, you first register yourself on eval.ai and click on the participate in the competition page. Regarding the test set, we will provide all the tested images to you on that Kaggle dataset, but they are not going to have any labels. So the only thing we need from you is to submit your prediction labels in the specific format on a specific format to the Eval AI platform, and then we can evaluate it. Another important thing that you should keep in mind is that the number of submissions you can make over the whole competition. So we only allow 5 submissions for the first phase. So you should somehow schedule how you're going to use these 5 golden opportunities to make sure that you are going to obtain the highest accuracy. And if you go to the next, so we have provided the details on the challenge rules and other things in this link that I have provided. If you go to the next slide, please. One thing I forgot to mention is that the task is basically a prediction of the binary classification. So you should predict whether the case is COVID positive or COVID negative. And the score that we are going to compare your models is based on the following, which is the sensitivity on the positive cases, on the negative cases, and PPV for the positive and negative cases. Currently, we do not consider the running time and complexity of your model for the first phase, but for the second phase, we will consider that as well. And also, you should expect some kind of surprise when you are doing the when you're getting your results on the test set that we are going to provide. So that's one thing to keep in mind. And another important thing I should mention is that there are many open source data models available, including our own COVIDNet models. You are not free to use them. The code should be only yours. Of course, you can use, for example, the GitHub code available, but you cannot just copy paste another model that is provided open source online. So it should be solely your own prediction model, and that's another thing to keep in mind. So I hope you enjoy your competition.
Thank you very much, Mr. Abu Talibi. And so now we are open to question and answer and to questions from the attendees. So if you have any questions, please write them in the chat box, or also you can raise your hand in the participant window so we can answer your question one by one. I have a question that I'm seeing a question in the chat box that from Ibtihal, that when will the team registration open on Eval AI? I think it's already open. Am I wrong, Mr. Abdalibi?
I think it should be open.
I think it's open in Eval AI, so you can register from now, and you also will be open until the June 6th for anyone that wanna do a registration.
I can see one question that says I cannot seem to press on participate. That's okay because we have not yet opened the participation yet. It's going to be open on the start date of the competition.
Yes.
Exactly. All the information is there, but to participate, we need to enable the competition, and it will be started on May 31st.
Yes. And Jack has asked that why there is label in test.text on Kaggle.
So that's another test set that we have provided for your own use. That's not the test set we are going to use on this competition. So
it means they can use it to test the procedure.
Yeah. But that test set does not have anything to do with the test set we are going to provide on the competition.
So he asked that it's validation test data set. So I am guessing it's not. Okay.
Yeah, I'll add a little bit. So essentially, that particular test set can be used. So I think the main question that they're trying to ask is whether or not it can be used for training the network.
He added now.
The answer is all the data available on that particular Kaggle data set is free game for you to test with, to build with, and so on and so forth. The clarification Hussein was making was just that particular data set is not what we'll be actually using for judging this competition.
Okay. And Priya has asked that she's unable or he's unable to register. I think, Diana, they can send you an email to resolve that issue? Or
well, where on vTools or on the Eval AI platform?
and
if it's on the Eval AI platform,
on Eval AI,
this platform, as we mentioned earlier, will be enabled.
No, but the registration is open, I think. Not the participation.
The registration on vTools?
No, on Eval AI.
Well, you can log in, yes, you can create your account, but you cannot register to Eval AI in this competition because it will start on May 31st.
Oh, so registration on Eval AI will be open from May 31st. Yes?
They can create an account on the Eval AI for themselves to register actually, but in order to participate in our competition, it's going to be on the 31st. That's
Okay.
the plan.
Okay, great. Great. So I don't see any other questions. If you want to add anything, Professor Wang or Mr. Adele or Diana.
So yeah, I'll just say some really quick words. So again, very excited about this competition and the results that will come out from phase 1. Really excited to see who'll move on to phase 2. And last but not least, good luck to all of the participants. Again, we're here to support you. If you run into any kind of problems during the competition, please let us know.
Sure. And we have a question in the chat box that Mr. or Mrs. Hovi from Malaysia. Technically, yes, you're allowed to participate, but unfortunately, in terms of transferring the funds, we are not able to send the monetary prices to people who are outside of Canada. So unfortunately, we cannot do it. So, but if you want to just be a part of this competition, you are very welcome to join us. But please know that problem that we have. And we have another question from Jack, that is there any limitation on the size of the team, on the member that they can have?
So I could talk a little bit about that. I think right now, from a team size perspective, I don't think we've imposed any particular limitations on the team size. So any team size would be fine. And then I think one question was, may we implement our solutions in any language we prefer? The answer, that's a very good question. And the answer is we want to give as much flexibility in terms of the innovative solutions that you'll be able to provide. So we don't have a language restriction. And when you say language, my assumption is we're talking about programming language, correct? So if it's referring to programming language, then the answer is yes, any programming language would be good.
Great. And we have another question, is the competition open to both graduate and undergraduate students? Yes, even anyone else from high school or non-students can join us. There is no rules on the type of the people that can participate. Only the people that are in the organizing committee cannot participate in the competition. And we have another question that I'm a student studying in Canada, in a Canadian university. And but I have a friend who is in India and wishes to join my team. Is it possible? I'm guessing yes.
I think it's possible because there is one participant from Canada, but it's up to you how to distribute the money to the other participant. But anyway, we need to confirm everything with IEEE Montreal section, because they are the entity in IEEE who is going to take care of the funds transfer. But I think it shouldn't be a problem.
Yes, of course. And about the language question that we have, yes, it seems that it was a programming language. Okay, thank you very much, Professor Wang, for asking that. And also we have a link to our Discord server in order to find a teammate if you want. There is a link now in the chat box. So if you wish to log to that channel for this competition, you can connect to that workspace in Discord. Okay. Mr. Adel, I would like to invite you again to say a few words if you wanted to add something at the end of the event.
I think Professor Wang said it perfectly, so I will not add to that. I'll just raise the bar a little. I'm looking forward to be inspired by the innovation coming out of this, and best of luck to everyone.
Yeah, thank you very much. And Diana and Mr. Abutalibi, if you want to add anything, you are welcome to do that.
No, just best of luck to everybody, and I am really excited to see the solution. So,
yeah, and Mr.
I just wanna add that I and the COVID-19 team are very excited to be part of this journey with you, and we hope that we can make some real impact on this pandemic by providing some extraordinary models to help others.
Yeah. Yes, and thank you again, everyone, for joining us today, and specifically Mr. Adel, Professor Wang, Mr. Abutalibi, and Diana. Do not forget that if you have any problem or if you need any question, you can reach out to us, and we will be more than happy to help you during this competition. And we all very look forward to see all of you during the competition and see the outcome of this event. Thank you again for joining us today, and we will see you during the competition. And good luck to everyone.